lady in the woods. I went camping with a friend, and every night we would walk through the woods. We called this the ritual. This particular night we decided to walk further into the woods than usual. We have flashlights, but we like to try and navigate through the woods with them turned off. You were about half a mile from the nearest campsite when we heard soft whispering behind us. Obviously, we hit the flashlights and spun around. Didn't see anything. So we kept walking and we heard it again. This time we stopped and looked around a bit before we decided to head back to our campsite. And we were whispering. It's a lady crawling on the ground whispering just random words. She was wearing dark clothes and was covered in dirt. She starts to get up and says that she is looking for our campsite. We walked her back to the campground and tried helping her find her group. Turns out she was super drunk and high, got lost trying to find a bathroom. Her friends didn't even notice she was missing, and if we didn't go that far into the woods, she would have been lost all night. Mr. Two-Face. The legend goes that Edward Mordrake had a handsome normal face, but on the back of his head he had a gruesome disfigured face. People described the face as being very intelligent and very terrible. He was paranoid about anyone seeing the other face, so he hid it with a large hat and his long black hair whenever he was out and about. Whenever Edward felt sad, he could feel the face smirking behind him. The face would constantly torment Edward, bringing him to tears and disrespecting him every chance it got. The face would keep Edward up all night, insulting him, driving him crazy, eventually leading to his death at the age of 22. He left a letter with instructions for the face to be destroyed at the time of his death to prevent his dreadful whispering within his grave. La Llorona. Part 1. Once a poor man was married to a beautiful woman who lived in his village. The couple was very much in love, but the man insisted that they were too poor to have any children. When he found out his wife was pregnant, the man was very angry. He told the woman they could not keep the child. After the birth of his son, the man drowned the child in the river. His wife, too weak from giving birth to get up from the bed, pleaded in vain with her husband to spare the life of her child. Several more sons were born to the couple, and the poor man drowned every one. The day the poor man took his fifth child to the river, his wife followed even though she was still weak and bleeding from giving birth. When he threw the child in the river, the woman went in after her son, determined to save the boy even though she did not know how to swim. The woman and her baby were swept away by the current and they both drowned. La Llorona. Part 2. The very next night, the woman's spirit returned to the river beside her home, wailing and searching for the sons she had lost. At first, the poor man was terrified by the spirit of his wife. He begged her to return to the spirit realm. But she did not hear him. Night after night, the woman returned to the river, wailing and wringing her hands in her grief. The poor man became angry. But he could not stop the ghost of his wife from searching for her sons. Finally, the sound of the wailing woman drove the man mad. He grabbed a knife and jumped into the river after the spirit to kill her. But the poor man did not know how to swim. The current swept him away and he drowned. From that day to this, the spirit of La Llorona, the wailing woman, still haunts the waters and lakes, weeping and wailing and searching for her sons.